Can a man go to a urologist and say, I would like this penis size?
Well, no, unfortunately. If we could change penis size, I think it'd be busy operating currently. But what we can do with penile implants is guarantee an erection every time with no worries, no anxiety, no pills, shots, or anything. It's a great surgical solution to a problem that's been around for a really long time.
How long have penile implants been on the table for people?
Yeah, most people are really surprised to know that's 50 years, 50. We just had our 50th year anniversary last year. This treatment for erectile dysfunction actually preceded pills, shots, vacuum devices, pretty much everything else. And that's one of the reasons actually why it's covered by insurance, because it's the oldest treatment.
Wow.
Yep.
I'm fascinated. You have to break this down. Erectile dysfunction is a huge problem.
Yes.
Dr. Mo Kara, our very good friend, says 40% of men at the age or over the age of 40 have it. 50% of men have it at 50, and so on. So erectile dysfunction is a major problem.
Absolutely.
Probably the first line solution isn't surgical. Is that?
Of course. The first line solution is to prevent it from happening in the first place. And that, of course, is based on foundational pillars of health: diet, exercise, sleep, stress mitigation. Those are the core tenets that are going to keep your penis healthy for a long time. But sometimes in life we get, prostate cancer or whatever, we need a surgery, and you get collateral damage. And so it's from that collateral damage that often men will develop problems with erections that no longer are responsive to pills. And once that happens, you can make the decision to fix it definitively with a surgery.
Can you walk me through, just on a very high level, how does that work? How is that surgical procedure implemented?
Well, I guess the first thing to understand is that in order to get a good erection, you have to have blood flowing into the penis, and that blood has to be trapped there, right? So when you look at why erections stop working, the most common cause is a vascular problem, so narrowing of the blood vessels going to the penis, so you have a blood flow in problem. Those can be often mitigated or addressed with pills or shots or even exercise, right? So if you exercise, you get better blood flow to the area, you can fix these problems. That's one set of reasons why the penis fails. The other one is the blood isn't trapped there appropriately. So you have to develop, what these surgeries try to do is mimic Mother Nature. And instead of blood flowing into the penis, we put a kind of a lining inside the penis, a prosthesis, where men will pump normal saline or salt water into the device. And when they pump the device, the fluid is transferred from a holding tank or reservoir, which is typically hidden next to the bladder or somewhere in the abdomen. And so they'll pump the fluid into the penis, and they'll keep the erection for as long as they leave the fluid in there, right? So, you can have an erection for 4 hours, for 15 minutes. It doesn't make a difference. And then when you're done, you hit a deflate button, and then normal saline goes back to the holding tank. So as a surgeon, when I do an implant, I put in 3-4 ounces of fluid, 100 milliliters or so of saline, and that same saline powers the device for the next many, many years. The average device...
Wait, the same saline? It's recycled?
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's essentially when the fluid's in the reservoir and not in the penis looks normal, flaccid. Nobody can tell you have it.
No one can tell. What about the pump?
It's like a third testicle, but hidden.
Wow.
So most men who are single, who have an implant, their partner has no idea.
Holy cow.
Yep. So it's completely hidden. It's completely locker room proof. The joke is, of course, if you leave it inflated all the time,
I just got
it's
that.
not so. It's
okay,
not so hidden. But you can decide when and where it's going to happen, and so it takes away all the anxiety and problems that people have when they're thinking about having problems with sex. So, and on average, these devices half of them last 20 years, right? So they tend to outlive most other prosthetics. They outlive breast implants, pacemakers, hip implants, these kind of things. It's amazing because they have functional parts, but at 5 years, 5% break. At 10 years, about 10 to 15% will have broken. 15 years, 30% break. So they have a really long longevity. And most guys who get an implant will die with it working. The average age of implantation is around 7 years of age or so. But
wait, what's the average years? The average age of implantation?
Average age of implantation is about 68, around 70. But
would if someone came in who was younger, would there be any issue of, let's say someone has major performance anxiety and they're 50?
Yeah. The strength of the implant is that it works really well every time. One of the weaknesses is that if other stuff still works, then, you don't want to do an implant because that other stuff won't work anymore.
I see.
So it's a surgical decision. And once pills fail, that's the decision point. Do I want to try shots or do I want to do surgery? It's very reasonable to get the surgery if you don't like needles. It's covered, like I said, covered by insurance, completely invisible, very spontaneous. And the other thing which people always ask me is like, well, does it feel the same? The answer is yes.
For both parties?
Yes. Again, the partner doesn't know you have a prosthesis unless they're like in the medical profession or very, very observant. For the man who gets the implant, a sensation is essentially unchanged.
Does it change the size of the penis?
Great question. Like everybody always asks, can you add an inch or two, doc, right? And again, like the answer is no. Essentially, Mother Nature gives you a certain length, and then you're kind of stuck with that. Now, there is debate as to whether or not, when you get the implant, whether or not you lose a little bit of length. When we actually do good studies, the answer is no. But patients do have this perception because they tend to remember the majesty of their erection when they were 18 compared to now when they haven't had sex for 10 years. Some men have, this perception that the penis is somewhat shorter. So you really have to counsel about that, right? So as a surgeon, it's all about risk-benefits ratios. And if a patient comes to me and says, doc, I want to have a consistent erection without having to use pills or shots, without fear of it not working, they're going to be happy, right? If they just want to have penetrative intercourse with their partner. If they come with the expectation that they're going to be enhanced somehow in terms of lengthwise, they're going to be disappointed. So you really have to do a good job as a surgeon to make sure that the patients understand that. And anybody, considering this type of surgery, really, you need to educate yourself as to the risks and benefits of any procedure, and then you'll end up happy.
I have a question that I don't know if you've ever seen, and I don't even know if it's a thing. Is there ever something where a penis cannot get an erection? Maybe it's a genetic defect of vasculature?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, all the time. So when I look at the age range of patients that have put a penile implant in, it's 18 to 98.
Wow.
Okay. So that's, if anybody out there is 100 years old, please come see me because I want to say I put an implant in a 100-year-old. So that 90-year-old did great, by the way. But some people are born with this congenital venous leak where the venous trapping just doesn't work. Or some men are born with some kind of a genetic defect or whatever it is where they've never had a good erection in their entire life. So I've had patients come to me where like they're actually having pain with their erections because they've never stretched the penis before.
Wow.
But the surgery can fix it. And there are many men who have never had a normal erection their entire life. Like age 16, 17, 18, we see them for the first time. It's like never had a good one. So that's fixable. That's treatable. I'm really grateful that surgery is available and can be done well.